Alright guys, we've got ourselves some breaking news right now. And what I'm referring to is something that was posted about 15 minutes ago, a new bill by the House Committee on Agriculture. They basically were hyping everybody up for a little while, posting along the lines of this. Some big crypto news is coming soon. That's what they said 2 hours ago. And then, as I said, about 15 minutes ago, they shared this update, which reads, Introducing the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act. This bill establishes a regulatory framework for digital assets, protects consumers, fosters innovation, and positions America as a leader in finance and technology. This bill is the culmination of an extensive feedback process, a historic partnership with the Financial Committee, and leadership from Congressman GT, whose name is Glenn Thompson, Rep. French Hill, whose bill we've seen quite recently, Dusty Johnson, who's my brother from another mother, Mr. Tom Emmer, and of course our Mr. Warren Davidson. All are pro-crypto spearheads, and I guess everybody is trembling in their boots right now because what exactly does this mean? Well, first of all, guys, if you've not done it yet, make sure you press that freaking like button because we've been on fire today. We've been on fire. I just ordered some new shirts as well. You can see the lines are actually still in there. Anyway, let's first set ourselves a little bit of a basis, which is whatever happens on the utility, regulatory, and whatever front that you might want to pick up, none of these things necessarily have any effect on the price. And what I mean with that is right now, let's say we get some very amazing new proposals for rules in the crypto space. People often buy the rumors, sell the news with the idea of, okay, we might actually want to buy now in case some proposed bill here actually comes into place. But for the most part, because that's what I honestly believe, people only start buying once it's happened and it's all confirmed and clear. And to explain that, I just showed you guys a video where Elon Musk recognizes the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit and, most importantly, the guys in that podcast. If you don't know, check out my video from a couple of hours ago. Where in that podcast, they're all recognizing that Ripple won, and there's no denying it. Yet, one of them actually said as well, he wonders what the XP price is going to do in a couple of days, because that's the usual way that people see this. That people buy the rumors, sell the news, or that they get overzealous right at the start. But I, for the most part, believe that right now what we've seen with XRP, that the price went up on the day of the settlement, so to speak, then down, but right now it's climbing back up to even higher points than before, is because it just takes time for people to realize this. And for the most part, the decisions are bullish and nice, sure, but it's over the longer term that whatever the result came in for example, this whole lawsuit debacle, really starts to take effect on all the rest of the stuff. Usually takes time. The same thing for Fed now, same thing for any new bank partnership, same thing for massive surges because of anything you could think of. Most of the time, the announcement itself can be hyped up, it can be exciting, but the next weeks, days, months, whatever, it depends on the specific announcement at that, is where things really start to shine. And for the most part here, I think the same. Let's just say that this bill was amazing. Well, first of all, there's still going to be FUD. Charles Gasparino, for example, he's going heavily against XRP for some strange reason. Breaking. The XRP army's going to love my Sunday New York Post column as much as they love today's 79-cent price on their beloved digital coin. Not sure why he's so salty, not sure who hurt him, but eventually, even though there's going to be FUD and there's going to be all these people trying to downplay the situation, I think it's pretty freaking huge. Anyway, so this was, as I said, just posted right now, about 15 minutes ago. Today, Glenn Thompson, chairman of the House Committee on Agriculture, and French Hill, chairman of the Subcommittee of Digital Assets, Financial Technology and Inclusion, and Dusty Johnson, chairman of the Subcommittee on Commodity Markets, Digital Assets, and Rural Development, introduced H.R. 4763. The Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act. Additional co-sponsors include Rep. Tom Emmer and Warren Davidson, who've always been pretty positive on crypto. And this act marks a significant milestone in the House Committee on Agriculture and Financial Services, efforts to establish a much-needed regulatory framework that protects consumers and investors and foster American leadership in the digital asset space. So at least some are out there trying to foster and make sure the U.S. does well in the crypto space. Over the past few months, our teams solicited extensive feedback from stakeholder and market participants and worked diligently to produce a legislative product that aims to close existing authority gaps, which is interesting when I think about the SEC. ensuring U.S. leadership in financial and technological innovation. I thank Chairman McHenry for his leadership and that of our subcommittee chairs in moving this legislation to the stage. He says, or the guys are saying, this legislation would not only have prevented FTX from stealing billions of customer funds, but also establishes robust consumer protections and clear rules of the road for market participants. So again, this would make the rules clear, they say. Peculiar. I look forward to this historic legislation being considered in both the House committees on financial services and agriculture next week. Okay. The digital asset space is muddled with regulatory uncertainty, lack of authority, and a lacking framework for core operating principles, said Rep. Dusty Johnson. So he's just basically quoting here all the different representatives and what they thought. The crypto industry wants clarity, and our collaborative bill gives both the CFTC and the SEC a seat at the table. So they don't exclude the SEC fully, which makes this doable. If they were to, say, fire the SEC, get everybody out there like Warren Davidson had said before, it probably wouldn't get that far in the current day and age, right? But by giving both of them a seat, it's like we established a while back where you're letting some of these kids sit at the grown-up table just to make sure they're, at least satisfied, I guess. Our bill establishes clear principles to ensure financial security and certainty as digital asset developers continue to innovate. Now, before we move on, guys, I want to quickly say if you're looking to trade XRP or you want to trade crypto or whatever, make sure you check out the links down below for either BitGet or right now by signing up, you can get yourself a couple of different prizes on this prize wheel. By just signing up and going through whatever one of these things that you want you to do. Every single time you go through one, you get a little ticket to spin the wheel. Could be something pretty nice. Or if you, are fine with KYCing, putting your identity in and whatever, you can trade over on Bybit, which is the exchange that I personally use, and grab yourself an $1,125 XRP trade for absolutely free. Just check it out. The link is down below. And to continue on, this is a pivotal moment for America's standing as the global leader in innovation and technology adoption. Not only can digital assets revolutionize our financial system, but their underlying blockchain tech holds promise as the building blocks for the next generation of the internet, said the chairman of the House Financial Services Committee, Patrick McHenry. As other counties move forward with digital assets regulatory framework, and Chair Gensler continues his regulation by enforcement, the U.S. is falling behind. Innovators need regulatory clarity and certainty to enable this technology to achieve its full potential. That's why Republicans introduced the FIT for the 21st Century Act to finally provide clear rules of road so that digital asset ecosystems can thrive in the U.S. This legislation is the product of years of work and unprecedented coordination between the House Financial Services and Agriculture Committees, and I applaud Chairman Thompson and the Subcommittee Chairman Hill's leadership, and I look forward to passing this bill out to the Financial Service Committee next week. So next week, we're going to see an update on this. So right here, you can see the additional resources like a text of the bill, a section-by-section summary, additional background, and myths versus facts breakdown, all of which are rather interesting. And one thing I'd like to point out real quick is this fact versus myth type of debacle, right? It was juicier than I expected. Well, because you can kind of see right here, right? Look at the line right there. Myth. All digital assets other than Bitcoin are securities and should be regulated by the SEC. Fact, not all digital assets are securities, and while some can be offered as one, XRP decision in July of 2023 determined that XRP was not a security. Bam. And so forward and so on. These are just things that need to be addressed, mostly for people that have these smart-ass questions with, for example, but all this would actually make so much money laundering happen or so much financial crime. And, they have to put up the facts here so people can't claim these dumbass arguments anymore. Or here, hey, this bill is actually really uncalled for. They're trying to sweep things. And the fact is, the federal financial regulators have called for additional authorities to properly manage and police the digital asset ecosystem. And apparently nobody is really doing it well. So this was definitely necessary. But digital assets don't really have any real use case. Well, bam, bada bam. But crypto's dying. Bam to the bam. But the CFTC can't protect us. Well, bam to the motherfucking bam. Here was some additional background, which I did not think was too interesting. This is mostly, I think, for people that don't understand anything about these crypto rules and about why crypto is important, all that type of stuff. You got to remember, there's a lot of 70-year-olds in all this. What was more interesting was the bill itself and, of course, the summary. And the only problem is, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not so sure exactly how strong this is. I'm also not a politician, so I'm not so sure how good their argumentative parts of this are. What I am is a reporter that reports as soon as this comes out, and then soon enough, we're always going to see what the lawyers are saying. So just take everything that I say with a grain of salt, as I'm not 1,000% sure. Because even if it looks really exciting to me, I'm pretty hyped up. I like this. The reason I wasn't completely hyped up at the start of the video is because even though it's the next step, what if I read through it and I notice, hey, it's actually a really bad step, At the end of the day, guys, these documents are always rather difficult because it's all about the exact hooks and crayons. Like, what I mean with that is, let's say they put up a bill and all looks good in their text, but then you look through the bill and it's like, oh, but they actually say this or they actually say that in some small part that just completely wrecks their entire point. Yeah, then I was excited all for nothing, basically. Or maybe not for nothing, but for the wrong reasons, because they discredited themselves later. Or their message is really good, but their bill is actually completely ass, just completely whack, no substance whatsoever. A lot of what I've read is them just trying to get the SEC and CFTC to work together. And a lot of what I've been reading as well is to make sure that people can register at least and then not be screwed by the SEC the moment they try to register. But also set some basis for actual sales of digital assets. The only thing I don't like is whenever they start to talk about non-accredited investors and how they are limited in some capacity to buy crypto. Again, it says here, over the past 12 months are less than 10% of the purchaser's annual income or 10% of the net worth. Where I'd say, if somebody wants to invest 80% of the net worth into crypto, let them do that. I don't know why you'd want to limit these people. I guess maybe because people have proven time and time again that they need help from the government because otherwise they lose everything. I don't know. Or I guess the more logical explanation is they want to keep you poor. They don't want you to put all your money into the freaking golden goose because, as I've said before as well, if they really wanted everybody to get all these fair chances and all this money, they would never stop people from investing in these early stage companies. Fun fact, right now, if you've got $1 million to your name, you can invest into Ripple. If you're not an accredited investor, don't got $1 million or like $200,000, $300,000 a year income, you can't buy Ripple stock. Like what? How? How does that make sense? Why is that one person, because he might have inherited money from some of his parents, now a lot more financially literate, so to speak, that he can make better choice than a person with no money to his name or just with a normal $40,000 a year salary that wants to put a couple $1,000s in, for example. Yeah, and you might be asking, Dusty, so if this news just came out, why are you so late? Why is it like an hour after the news came out that you post this? I've been stuck reading so much of this and I still don't fully understand. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty, like, sounds a little strange, but it's pretty huge. They actually try to fit a lot in here. It's one of the larger bills. This, what I'm scrolling through right here, this is 212 pages, by the way. It's not a little joke or anything like that. And I think I'm just scrolling through real quick, if I can again. Just for fun measure, just to kind of show you guys what we're playing with here. And I guess that's why they also said over on Twitter that something pretty huge was coming up, right? I'm not sure exactly what their words were. Let's quickly check this out. They said some big crypto news coming in soon. Yeah, they weren't lying. Now, and I'm also not sure if the lawyers, that I usually look for are sleeping or exactly what's going on or whether or not they think it's not a big deal or I'm just extremely early again. We have that more often. But I'm mostly guessing that they're just reading and they're only going to give an update when they've got something important to say. But from my perspective, you can see, guys, it's been just 30 minutes of me checking through everything and trying to find out exactly which pieces to share. But it's going to take a couple of hours for all these lawyers to wake up and read through everything. It's pretty late here over in... I should maybe not say where I am, but you guys know where I live, right? Anyway, I wanted to say it's pretty late over here, so I might get you guys an update on that later. I actually had a video planned to go live right now, and then I saw all this crazy stuff. I was like, let's do this first. So you will probably see another crypto video in a couple of hours from here. And it will only be tomorrow, though, that I update you guys on exactly if this bill is freaking huge or means nothing at all. I think the fact that all these crypto representatives, all these guys, all the chairmen from all these different institutions are coming together for this crypto bill, that it might actually have some crazy importance. But we'll have to see from all these lawyers in the next couple of hours on how important it really is. And so make sure you put the notification bell on. I'm going to get you guys a cool update on everything tomorrow and about whether or not it was a little bit of a nothing burger or if things are about to change for the crazy. All we know, though, from what we just read, is that they're pretty adamant on changing things up, putting some little whippity in the cooking pot, and that it's being brought up already next week. So that could, again, be pretty crucial. And I guess, it's going to get time to read, huh? It's a lot, though. I think the best thing is just to start with the summary, which is only 15 pages, and then, I guess, dive a little bit deeper into our 212-page behemoth right here. Yeah, that's it's about to be an interesting night for me as well, huh? Do I have to read it, by the way? Absolutely not. But I do like to be involved with all this crypto asset stuff. I don't think it's going to make my videos too much better, but I like it. So yeah, call me a nerd, call me whatever, you know? I like to be up to date with the rules. Yeah, in all seriousness, it's not even a joke, by the way. Things are rapidly changing, and sometimes I get amazed at just how much the crypto space is changing over the last couple of weeks here and how much more gains there are to come from being this early in all of it. Just realize that for a second. If you ever thought, oh, but Dusty, prices are already so high. No, you're still very early into all of this. Just realize that for a second. I just posted on Twitter, too, that a little while back, I was saying just how nice XRP at 25 cents was, and that we'll be looking back at those prices at some point, thinking, oh, that was so cheap. Yeah, and right now is already that moment where you look back at 25 cents XRP and you think, oh, that was so cheap. We're going to have that similar feeling, I think, with 80 cents XRP, and the same thing for Bitcoin, same thing for a lot of other cryptocurrencies, especially as right now the building blocks are being set in stone. But right now, these major institutions like BlackRock, etc., they're in, but they're not really in. And I think for that reason, the price is being suppressed. But the moment that they're all in, guys, yeah, that's when you can start thinking about, okay, maybe we're not that early. But right now, guys, if you're a full-on adapter like you guys are, if you're watching this video, you're still early, you're good to go. And guys, I still believe the moon is the only way we can go. But yeah, put the notification bell on if you want to be notified whenever something crazy drops or whenever I have another update. So see you guys later, another one.